Are you a pastor or just a thinking Christian and you have C.S. Lewis books and Chronicles of Narnia books and Chronicles of Narnia movies and Lord of the Rings books and movies and you've been a fan ever since a boy? Well, I would call on you to reconsider considering those things seriously if you want to go on to perfection, because C.S. Lewis was anything but a Bible-believing Christian. He was a liberal that framed his views about Christianity according to his own preferences. He was Church of England in the not-so-distant past, which is clearly an environment of liberal theology. So, especially if you're a Wesleyan or Pentecostal, a charismatic, or just an evangelical, and you've looked at C.S. Lewis as some great theological hero, I would beg you to reconsider that. I do not believe that he is somebody you should be reading anymore, and instead it would be much better to read John Wesley as a replacement. Your faith will become a whole lot more firmly grounded if you allow John Wesley or somebody from his circle to be the ground of your faith rather than C.S. Lewis. If C.S. Lewis has helped you, great. But what I'm saying is that John Wesley does a much better job at the things that C.S. Lewis has aimed at. I think Mere Christianity has for a very long time been a sort of go-to resource for people who have skeptical thoughts of an agnostic direction. But I can tell you that John Wesley has much more supernatural answers than C.S. Lewis could ever come up with, and also intellectual ones. So please, I urge pastors, get rid of C.S. Lewis, and I would even say tell people to stop reading C.S. Lewis and stop watching Chronicles of Narnia and Lord of the Rings, because Chronicles of Narnia talks about deep magic. It talks about it blends occult concepts with Christianity, occult creatures from Greek mythology, which is just going to fill your imagination with demonic spirits. Honestly, if you're guided by dreams and visions, that's not going to help in that area. C.S. Lewis drew up a story called The Magician's Nephew. He was an imaginative guy, but he was not biblically based. And I'm going to have some readings here to prove to you, once and for all, if you consider the Bible superior, then you should consider, if the Bible is primary, Lewis, I don't care if he's helped you in the past, he's a rationalist, okay? And he's only going to give you a rationalist understanding of Christianity. That he only reaches the head. He doesn't reach the spirit. And I urge you, if you are a C.S. Lewis fan, to get rid of his stuff. It's a bad spiritual influence. This is a quote from Mere Christianity. Please listen to this. This is a quote from Mere Christianity. He said, "There are people who do not accept the full Christian doctrine about Christ, but who are so strongly attracted by him that they are his in a much deeper sense than they themselves understand. There are people in other religions who are being led by God's secret influence to concentrate on those parts of their religion which are in agreement with Christianity, and who thus belong to Christ without knowing it. For example, a Buddhist of goodwill may be led to concentrate more and more on the Buddhist teaching about mercy and to leave in the background, though he might still say he believed the Buddhist teaching on certain other points." You see that? That is Christian universalism. Okay, that's wrong, dude. John 14:6 says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes unto the Father but by me." See, he would have known that if he was more of a Bible reader rather than some sort of an intellectual rationalist philosopher, okay? If that wasn't disturbing enough, listen to this. This is taken from a book that he wrote about his life. It's kind of an autobiography that he wrote. It's called Surprised by Joy, The Shape of My Early Life. Now listen to what Lewis wrote. He's talking about his schoolboy days. Listen to this. That is why I cannot give pederasty anything like a first place among the evils of the coal. There is much hypocrisy on this theme. People commonly talk as if every other evil were much more tolerable than this. But why? Because those of us who do not share the vice feel for it a certain nausea, as we do, say, for necrophilia. I think that of very little relevance to moral judgment. You see, he just clearly said that child molesting, homosexual child molesting between boys at the school isn't really all that bad. Do you understand? He was a pervert. Do you understand? This guy was a pervert and a Christian universalist and probably a latent homosexual. Burn his books or throw them away and throw out his freaking pagan movies, which are a far cry from Christian themes. Read John Bunyan in Pilgrim's Progress and watch Pilgrim's Progress. Get rid of Chronicles of Narnia. It's stupid paganism, and it's universalism, and he was a pervert pedophile. And if he wasn't a pedophile himself, he was a pedophile sympathizer. It's sick, dude. The evidence is all right there. It's all right there. Get rid of it. Purge your library. Read Banner of Truth. This stuff is sick and pagan. And we've tolerated it, and we've grown up tolerating it, telling ourselves, oh, it's okay to commit idolatry because, these graven images of pagan creatures from pagan mythology aren't real, so we can blend them with Christianity and fix Christian symbols onto them. No, you can't. No, you can't. It's just pagan. That's all it is. Just paganism. And it's prophesying according to your own imagination, right? He's about as far from John Wesley as the East is from the West. So get rid of C.S. Lewis from your theological library. There's much better stuff to be found among Wesley and the Puritans. I have to say that because it's in my gut. God bless out there. This is John with WesleyGospel.com.